What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My fellow Lumineers, it is Friday. You're watching the Friday Weekly Market Watch. We do these every Monday and Friday, and we talk about Lorcana news, meta trends, and card prices. I'm joined with Zach Stone up here, who joins us for the Friday Market Watch videos. We hope you're doing well as we finally get all these reveals for the Arcasia's Island set, which comes out the week of March 7th. We have most of the Enchanted revealed, Zach Stone. How do you feel about all of these? I'm showing the Tamatoa one first because this is probably going to be the most expensive one in my opinion. But a huge shout out to Inkborn Heroes for having all these wonderful enchantments already up on their Instagram, their Facebook, and stuff. Zach, how do you feel about these in terms of artwork? Number one, I want to hear your opinion, and because I haven't asked you yet. And number two, what's your favorite enchanted revealed so far? I'm going to start and say mine is probably either this Donald, because he looks like Dark Magician, or I really like this All Is Found.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I'm doing very well, Kevin. And yeah, these enchanted artworks remind me of when they started rolling out the new style of enchanted arts in set 5. We have the same little textured layout. We have the little lore indicators separated with a border, and I love that a lot. So yeah, actually, Kevin, you just thought of my favorite enchanted. The Aurora so far has been my favorite. Look at that waifu, and honestly, I just have memories of Sleeping Beauty as a child, right? So stuff like that is more, yeah, it's more sentimental, nothing crazy, nothing like super significant. But I just have memories of watching that movie as a kid, and I had a cat named Prince Philip. So yeah, it was
No way, hey,
yeah, it
that's
was
so
kind of.
cool.
It's a little bit of lore about me, and if you guys have been following the channel for very long, you guys will also know that there is a collectible show I vend at, and it's called Frankensons. It's in the City of Industry, and I'm there every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. So check us out if you have any needs or are looking to pick up Arcasia's Island, because I will have the set there. And Kevin, do you want to tell our Goon Squad members where you're located at?
Yep. On weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can find me down in Carlsbad, like Oceanside. Shops at Carlsbad has a show every weekend, card show, collectible show called Ninja Exchange. And we have Lorcana there, we have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, everything you need at our booth. And same thing, Zach. We're gonna have Arcasia's Island that weekend. I'm super excited, man. We got a Hero Hamada Enchanted, and we also got the set champs card revealed as well. So much news, has happened throughout the week. Probably one of the biggest reveals though is this Bell, the apprentice inventor. We just dropped a video with Create TCG, aka Riplungs, a Sapphire Steel player, really good player, really one in the community. We made the whole video right before this card was announced. So if you do watch that video, just know that we did it without this context. But Sapphire Steel, Sapphire cards are looking like they're going to be in a really good position in the meta, especially because of this Bell card. A lot of people are complaining, saying this needs to be banned. This is better than Diablo, better than One Drop Cindy. I mean, I don't think I think it's good. I don't think it's that good. I do think it's good though. I acknowledge it's a very good card. But Zach, you've been testing a little bit. How do you feel about the Bell? Do you think it should be banned? Is it worth freaking out over?
Now, by all means, I don't think this card should be banned. I think there is a lot of different approaches that we have to consider when we are looking to like ban or even limit cards in decks or in games like this. But for at least for shock value, it did it right. Like it got everybody a little shook of what's coming in this set and how fast the game's accelerating, which I personally am a little bit of a fan of. But I know that there's difference of opinions there, and there is something to really think about because this game's progressing really fast, and it's kind of picking up from you look back at first chapter days, how turn one 2/2s, now you're dropping 3/3s for free on turn one, which is crazy, right? Yeah, so I really like the card's design, and hopefully it's just going to kind of match and even out, because I mean there's still turn one Daisy for Amber decks, and that's still pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, Turn 1 Daisy still feels undefeated. I mean, you can't out that with the Bell. But you can follow up with maybe a Lumiere after, make the Bell a 4 strength character. But there's a bunch of combos, and we're looking forward to seeing what combos everyone comes up with for Arcasia's Island format, which, like we said, comes out very soon. You can see here, you can do pre-orders on TCGplayer. In our opinion, unnecessary to do pre-orders on sealed product of Lorcana. You know what I mean? There's plenty to go around. You see it at your Target all the time, I'm sure. Your Walmarts, your Barnes and Nobles. This Arcasia Island gift box. This is the Lilo box right here. It comes with the Lilo Escape Artist promo and 5 packs from chapters 2 through 5. So you don't get any. Sorry, 236. So you don't get any Arcasia's Island in this gift box, as far as I know, which is kind of strange. But you get some packs from older sets that are not the first chapter, which is cool. Even I don't know how popular these are going to be. But these are MSRP $30. You can pre-order them for 40. I'm probably not too worried about those though in terms of pre-orders, and especially with these singles card prices. So this Gontu, an amazing card, the Experienced Enforcer. Don't think it's going to be a $10 super. We say this every set. You know what I mean? Tamatoa happy as a clam over here. He's a $55 legendary right now as a pre-order. The only legendary we have close to that price is Rapunzel, and I think the reason why it's that price is because it's from the first chapter. Even something as recent as a Maui Shark is only selling for around $40 today on TCGplayer. Yeah, check that out. Most recent sales for Maui Shark are going to be anywhere from $43 for non-foils, 45, more than 40. Cold foils are most recent $64 sales. Lowest verified today is going to be 46.69 for a Maui Half Shark by PPK Gaming. And non-verified sellers have it for around $45. So we're seeing this go back up. We saw this around $30 to $35 during the peak of the last format, where it feels like Ruby Sapphire was the best deck, and now we're seeing it more expensive, Zach, and we don't even have tournaments announced or anything. I feel like this is a lot of like, oh, Ruby Sapphire is going to be the best deck, and yeah, these Maui Sharks are hitting really high points right now. But yeah, well, how do you feel about pre-orders? How do you feel about some of the hype right now, and then with the set coming out?
So again, I'm not the biggest fan of pre-orders for singles. However, there is some comfortability if you're ordering master sets through other means. There are plenty of shops that do some breaks, or they would open a bunch of product, right? And it was a lot more prevalent during the beginning days of Lorcana, but now there's lots of LGSs in our local area that are pre-selling or offering pre-orders for their Arcasia's Island as low as 105 a box even. And that's really good,
And
right?
and
Like
that's really
if you're
good.
able
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
if
I think if you could pre-order it in person, support your local game store. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to clarify that. Ordering online though and paying like 115, 120, 130, 140 even, that's kind of what I was talking about. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, and then if you're having a little harder time finding any in your local game store at a reasonable price, or just any game stores at all carrying Lorcana, then I do understand having to go through like TCG Player, or ordering off a another third party website. But yeah, just guys, these cards and the so-called hype behind some of these prices. I think what's really good is that Ravensburger did respond to some feedback and did say that they have some plans in the works, that they are going to have news for us that we're all anticipating, and that gives people a lot of confidence, but we're just unsure when, and that's kind of like what we're all waiting for, right? But we know that they're going to have events, like we know that this game's going to keep going on, and that's what we're all here for. And I love that there's a lot of support behind it, and it's also showing numbers and backed up by the market, because sales are crazy right now. Speaking of crazy prices, Rapunzel gifted with healing, a crazy price. This card is hitting its near all-time high again, and lowest sales have been at least $50. And personally, I think this card is around like a $55 card easily. Cold foils, however, are a different story. We've seen a lot of sales for under $100, but I believe we can look at listings that will show around $120 price point. So yeah, they aren't selling at this price, guys. Please remember that whatever it's selling for is a better reflection of what it's listed at, but it's just going to take one person to pull that trigger.
Yeah, so they're all listed at more than 100. All the recent ones have been selling for 75, 90, $95, very close to 100. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody lists ones at $100 and it sells. But right, yeah. So the 134 is the lowest verified if you want a cold foil Rapunzel right now, and non foils, like just like you were saying, very close to $55, 51, 54 shipping included. It's only a couple listings before it jumps to 54.99 right here by Overdose Gaming. Shout out you guys. Very cool right there. Is Overdose Gaming, is that based here in California, Zach? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that who I think it is? That's really cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it is. It
nice,
is.
nice.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Shout out them. Shout out them. Let's talk about some more cards you probably shouldn't be pre-ordering. I want to talk about the Tamatoa real quick. An amazing card. Can't wait for the Enchanted to come out. I think this might be have the most expensive Enchanted in the set. But yeah, there's some sales happening here, dude. At $45 a piece, and I don't know. Maybe there is a world where this does sell for like $50, so maybe you are getting that peace of mind of being able to get it now. But personally, I don't really see the necessity. Especially not if you want to buy a cold foil. $90 for this cold foil as a pre-sale is pretty up there. I think. Wow. Maleficent Monsters Dragons. These are going back up in price this week, Zach Stone, because like, a lot of blue red hype. A lot of Ruby Sapphire hype right now, with these new Sapphire coil cards coming out, this new Tamatoa, the Bell. So it's looking like dragons are now close to $20. 1944 is the lowest verified, so very close to $20 right there. And then we have another one right here, Max Cards TCG 1971 with 78 cents. That's already $20 right there. So cold foil dragons. These are from the first chapter, dude. So we know how this goes. First chapter cold foils are always keeping a very, very hefty price tag. 76.23 is lowest verified shipping included for a shiny Maleficent Monsters Dragon, man. And I can't stress that enough that we're not getting first chapter packs in this little gift set that we're getting this time around. I like the gift set. I like that it comes with a promo. Hopefully they do more full art promos or full art cards for Lorcana that aren't enchanted, that are outside of DLCs as well. Can't stress that enough. Gonna say that every video until it happens. Clarabelle, Light on her hooves. These are going up. These are getting very close to $20 now. Look at this. Lowest verified is $17.18 with $2.25 shipping. After shipping, you're paying $20 already right there. Refined Gaming, $19.50 with shipping included. Very close right there to $20. Your Clarabelles. So if you have Clarabelles in your trade binder, if you guys trade, a lot of people who play Lorcana don't trade, but if you guys ever have like trade nights or you're at locals and you're trying to trade for cards, Clarabelles hitting $20 like ASAP. And look at these cold foils. These have just been shooting up in the last couple days. The lowest verified is top table gaming right here, $20.40. That's a deal. That sounds like a deal. That's a steal. That even rhymed right there. Shout out you guys. After that, $22.66 shipping included by Finch and Sparrow. So from $20 to $22 already just from that one listing. For a cold foil Clarabelle, but the enchanted Clarabelle, that's the highest rarity. So that's probably why those foils are pretty cheap, right? Calhoun.
I'm just gonna say it. Buy the cold foils, guys. It's
Yeah.
only $2 more than the normals. Like I'm even out of Clarabelles in my current inventory at the moment. So if anyone's got any extras, I'd love it. But it's a hard card to hang on to because so many people are excited about playing Clarabelle and the blue green strategies we're seeing in the new set.
Yeah, blue green I feel like is getting very pushed like really hard in this set. The blue green agenda is real, and I think one of the best things you can do is be able to ramp into this Clarabelle ability to draw a bunch of cards. It kind of feels like playing Whole New World with Fishbone Quill. Like I've said that before when I try to play the deck, and the deck just gets better and better every set. With this set, including a lot of like extra tools with the dual ink cards, right? Calhoun, Marine Sergeant, Calhoun the Goon going up in price. Zach Stone. These are selling for more than $10 again. 11.54 lowest verified by PPK Gaming. So around $11 in market price. Might keep going up. Cold foils, there's only 8 listings left. These are $18.69 with $1 shipping by Mystic Falls TCG. $20 cold foils in the what is it, Azurite Sea set. Love to see it. $20 cold foil rare Calhoun. That's really cool to see, man. Another very expensive rare from this is from set 2. Strength of a Raging Fire still selling for around $15. $14 is the lowest verified today. Civics Gaming Citadel $13.99. Shout out you guys for having these low prices. A little bit off of 15, but after that, not many listings before it hits $15. Like I was saying, Yogi's Worldwide $14.49 right there next listing. Cold foils, look at this, dude. Basically $30. Dale's TCG has one for 27 with $1 shipping. Then Warp Storm here has another one for $30 and an extra dollar some shipping. It's getting very close to $33 right here after by JR Cards. 32.98 shipping included. This is a rare. Yeah, this is a rare cold foil, man. I wonder what Lorcana's gonna do if they're ever gonna do ban lists, if they ever plan on doing rotations. Either way though, if they do rotations like other games and they reprint like this card again in like the new rotation, and it'll be cool because you can still use the original strength, the cold foil strength of a Raging Fire, right? But we'll see what happens. For now, your cold foil strengths from set 2 are reaching $30. So that's really awesome to see. Baymax Armored Companion. I think a lot of people are gravitating towards trying to use this Baymax in the new like blue-green decks because you have a lot of Big Hero 6 synergy. However, personally, I don't think this card has a lot of synergy with a lot of the Big Hero 6 cards outside of it being a robot or a hero. I feel like there's not a lot of like healing that's necessary in these decks, and this effect only triggers when he specifically heals somebody. But the card's going up. People are buying this card more and more every week is what it's looking like. Because lowest verified is $15.40 today. $15 minimum for your Baymax Armored Companion. And I feel like they might even keep going up. There's no Enchanted for this one either. So cold foils, these are pretty cheap, only $3 more, 18.25. Trading Post Games. Zach, what do you think of this card?
Yeah, although there is no Enchanted for this card, we do have the non-foil promos given out in the North American
Does
continent
that
and
count as an
European
Enchanted? Does that
continentals.
count as an Enchanted actually, or
I,
no? Does it have to be
it
foiled?
is not an Enchanted rare, but it's a promo.
Okay,
It's more
okay,
of like a full art, alternate art promo. However, the even the DLC promos, like for example, your Rapunzel's, Cindy's, those aren't enchanted either. I would say like enchanteds, I think are a little bit more exclusive to being pulled from the packs. Some people may, feel
true,
differently
true, very
about
true,
that.
very true.
Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are Baymax promos enchanted? I'd like to know your guys' thoughts, honestly. But yeah, this card, I don't know if it's seen a lot of play. My first thought is like, hey, you can probably play like you came back with it to quest again and gain more lore. But how are you damaging your characters in blue green? And I just don't know if that's you're challenging other characters, right? But this is still a card that I think has a lot of potential. I think anything that can just gain you lore outside of questing is still something to always be considered as a threat. And Baymax is that kind of card that can give you that reach in Sapphire strategies, which it doesn't necessarily have a lot of access to. I know Amethyst is getting, has a lot of lore gain outside of questing, right? But something like Sapphire has a card like this to its advantage, and I think it definitely can be explored. And who knows, maybe Sapphire Steel could do something like that because they can definitely damage themselves.
It could even be something as simple as like maybe you just want to be able to have more like late game burst potential, you know? And the price could even be going up because people just want to collect Baymax cards. I think that's like Baymax is Big Hero 6 is a beloved IP, and they're releasing more Big Hero 6 cards in Arcasia's Island. Hopefully it's attracting more Lorcana players, and maybe they're thinking I need to have my Baymax IP master set. I don't know about you, but a lot of people do come to visit the booth and ask like, "Oh, I'm trying to collect every card from this franchise." So sometimes I get requests for very random commons and uncommons, and I'm not even realizing like what the heck that's from this movie. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. I forget that Transport Pod is a Big Hero 6 card technically. And there's like a lot of little like little cards like that I'm like, oh, that's from this movie, right? But so
So a little fun fact on TCG Player, you can filter properties on Lorcana. So go to all filters, go to properties, and you could just select the properties if you wanted to do
okay.
something like that for somebody next time.
That's okay. Good to know. Good to know. A Sapphire in general, very hyped at this set. Very hyped this set. That could be another reason why that Baymax is going up, but I do think that's why this Hades is going up in price today. Look at this. In the last couple months, we've seen this card from as low as $6 to as high as now $11 for an English version. 11.27 with $1 shipping. Bash on TCG. After that, 12.75 shipping included. So almost $12. It had $11 market price, but about $12 right there online if you order it today. Japanese, there's a Japanese version right here. Look at that, Japanese Hades, $8 shipping included. If you guys want some cheaper versions, you can get the Japanese ones now. Card stock's better, and the only difference is you have to know how to read Japanese, but you can play them in the English tournaments. It's perfectly legal to play those. Cold foil Hades, these are going up in price a little bit too, selling for around $30+. Druid's Lair, $32.99 for the lowest verified for a cold foil Hades. These are from the first chapter, by the way. We have some Japanese cold foils as well. That's really cool. Selling for about $7 cheaper. The price is still up there for Japanese cards. They're not too cheap compared to the English counterparts. So good to know. If you guys have been pulling any Japanese from your Japanese first chapter packs, you can find some of the listings to compare prices on TCG Player here. That's very nice. Personally, maybe I would want a cold foil Japanese instead of an English Hades and save $7. That's just my opinion, though. Tamatoas, so shiny. These are pretty cheap right now. For Sapphire being one of the upcoming best decks of the format, these are still pretty cheap. Wiley's Mystic Mana Mart has them for around $5 with $1 shipping, so close to $6 after you're after you're done with the shipping and taxes. If you want to get a non-foil Tamatoa, and the Japanese ones are basically the same price. There's going to be 18 right here by Enchanted Finds for Japanese Tamatoas, and they're $4.50 with $1 extra shipping. So not too much of a difference there from card prices from Japanese to English in Lorcana. At least right now is what it's looking like. Cold foil Tamatoa is selling for only $13.75 with $1 shipping, almost $15 when you add it all up, right? But that's still really cheap compared to what these were selling for. Like $20+ at one point. Yeah, these were like $25 cold foils at one point, and I don't know, guys. Everybody's hyping up Sapphire, so I feel like most Sapphire strategies are going to be using Tamatoa, right? Right? You think?
Well, I think that this Tamatoa specifically might not see four copies jammed out anymore. You might get to play one or two, but that card just becomes an uninkable card if you only play less than four copies. At least for how I feel about certain deck building approaches in this game. But it's going to start getting very tight for Sapphire, and what I mean by that is it's going to be hard to play all these cards in the deck because they're all pretty good, right? And they're all something to really build around, but you can't fit everything into a pile and just expect it to work. So you have to really strategize now. And we might see cards like this either get kicked out or we start to realize that they're better than the new ones being printed. Only time will tell, right? And Flynn Rider is a card that's kind of been doing that kind of thing, right? Where people kind of like put it in the back burner. People say it starts to be bad, it starts to go down, and then somebody wins an event with red purple and everyone's like, well, Flint on turn two is still hard to beat, right? But sales are still a little consistent. I think it stayed around it was high early on after Ed Chu won North America with red purple. But it started to kind of steady down. It was as high as $8 to $9, but now we're looking at $5 price tag for Flynn Rider, which I think is pretty solid. I still think that this card is very good, just not necessarily in Ruby M strategies right now. Maybe Ruby Steel, right? I've always still felt like this card is unexplored with a lot of other cards. Kevin, what do you think?
And Ruby Steel, I like it. Yeah, it's a Ruby M. I don't know how I feel about it anymore. I feel like Ruby M feels very fragile this format. Just from my personal opinion, but I say that every format and then ends up being the best deck. But Flynn Rider in general, though, has just never really been my favorite card in the last two sets. It's a good card. Don't get me wrong. However, I just feel like with all the new stuff coming out, like you can't really play Flynn when your opponent plays a Bell on you turn one, so that's really sad. So I'm probably not going to be using mine for a minute. So if I could list mine and sell mine for the high prices they're at right now, I'd probably would personally. But yeah, the Sapphire just seems too good, man. A lot of people seem to agree. Look at these prices for Tipo. This is the non-foil Tipo uncommon. They used to be about 30 cents, and today you're going to be selling for around $2 plus shipping. So if you just want, a couple people have multiple listed, so you can get them. You can get a deal right here. Lowest verified is 212 though, with $1.27 shipping. And then 214 with $1.27 shipping. So non-verified sellers do have it though for like 150 with the extra shipping too. But minimum, you're paying $2 per TPO, probably even $3 in person or online, depending if you're just buying one. Yeah, TPO very important. This growing sun. Cold boils are shooting back up a little bit too in the last couple of weeks or so. They haven't hit $10 yet. Actually, they have. Non-verified sellers have them for around $9, but lowest verified is Shazus right here, 10.28 for your cold foil Tipos. Yeah, so if you wanted it less than $10, they were selling for around 8, 7, $9 even back on Valentine's Day, about almost a week ago already. Wow. But now they're going to be more than $10 for your cold foil Tipos, bro. Everybody's hyping up Sapphire. I do think there's plenty of other decks you can play in the meta. But with the hype, it does bring a lot of like growing sales prices. Check out the Oswald. It's not an Enchanted. This is the D23 promo Oswald. Kind of picking back up in price a little bit this week. We have some recent sales for the $75 range. All these are gone. There's another recent sale for 92, 88, 86, 92. Market price was like $78, but we're seeing all those sales at 90 plus dollars. Lowest verified is now 93. Then it jumps to 95 with some shipping, almost $100 again. Very close. There's only 10 listings, so there's a world where people start listing these again, but as of right now, they're getting very close to $100 again per each Oswald. And I think that has to do with some of the Sapphire item hype that's going on. Same thing with this Jafar, Striking Illusionist. I like this a lot. Zach, lowest verified is now $150 for your Jafar Striking Illusionist. Fabulous Trades is our lowest verified here. The market price is $93, but look at the lowest verified, $150. Look at the most recent sales, $92, $125, $98. So all the ones at less than $100 are all gone. So this is also why we don't focus on just market price, because if you want to buy it right now, you have to pay $150, and if you want it at less than $100, they're all gone.
Yeah, and we do want to thank our Goon Squad members and our Discord. We are going to start asking and engaging in getting their thoughts and seeing what some things we should talk about in the market. This was brought up to our attention, and we do appreciate the insight. This is a card that again has alternative win conditions outside of questing to gain lore. I remember this card first got announced in set three. That whole new worlds jumped from $8 to $20, right? And it never made too severe of an impact. I know there's some Jafar enthusiasts. Shout out to you, Alpha J-Bo. I'm looking at you, but yeah, this is still an interesting thing to think about with the Reign of Jafar set being the next set coming out, and I do think that they are going to add Jafar strategies and let that Jafar reign on all of us. But this morph space goo coming from the clouds with no rain in sight, it's starting to see a little pick up lately. We remember during Vegas, when Green Steel popped out and took the top four by storm, that these got bought out to $250, right? But now it's starting to settle. I think they went as low as around $100, and they're picking back up again. And more people want to play different strategies. More people want to incorporate some of these new Floodborn characters that are coming out from Arcasia's Island. And Morph is the best card to be able to shift on top of. I've been saying it's the best enchanted for a long time now.
Yeah, best enchanted is a bold statement. Maybe you mean in terms of artwork and cuteness, right? It's up there in terms of ability. Okay, okay. Well,
Best in quotation marks. You can. It's a leave up into the air on that one.
For me personally, I think my best is Clarabelle. Like I really enjoy Clarabelle as a card. I like the ability, and I really like the Enchanted of Light on Her Hooves Clarabelle. And a lot of people seem to be taking interest in her recently too. These were less than $100. Same thing with the morph. Same thing, with this Clarabelle. These were less than $100, and today lowest verified is now 115 by Heart of the Cards. Love that name, by the way. Then it jumps to 120 and 125 by Over the Top and Game Time right here. Really cool to see Clarabelle going back up and getting the respect she deserves. If you wanted her less than $100 though, they're all pretty much gone in the most recent time frame. They're all selling for around 120. So that looks like the asking price for Clarabelle. I wanted to mention the Ursula Deceiver of all because these are still pretty cheap, I think, compared to how they were a couple months ago. And I do think Emerald Steel is going to be something that people take interest in next format because that new P Shift Dual Ink character is too good. Gone to is too good, and I just get the feeling that like singing songs under Gone to is going to be really important. I don't know. Ursula, Deceiver of all Enchanted, just food for thought. They're only selling for 163 today, lowest verified. These used to sell for around $200, and right now the most recent sales are anywhere from 130 to 150. So maybe you can find a deal on these. But everybody's favorite, everybody's best Enchanted is obviously the Elsa. Spirit of Winter. Most lowest verified today is going to be $950 by Card Again Gifts. There are 16 listings, and then it immediately jumps to $1,100 right after that. Most recent sales, though, check this out, Zach. Most recent sales yesterday, somebody bought an Enchanted Elsa for $1,000 on TCGplayer. Wow, I love to see that, man. I'm an Elsa holder. I have to admit, I'm holding the bag. I'm being transparent here. I feel like that's a great asking price now, maybe even a little bit less in person if you have one. So if you've been holding on to your Elsas, they've gone from 790 to 800, 850 to now $1,000 of recent sales. I do want to check eBay before we call it a day. But before we check eBay, I just want to mention that the Cinderella also seeing some extra sales. The DLC promo non-foil Cinderella seeing a lot of sales, or it's not a lot of sales, but seeing a recent sale of 250. That was today. Someone bought one for $250, and another one on the 16th for $249. So, and then another one on the 16th for $200. So once again, look at the market price, $133. You can't just only focus on the market price, guys, especially when you're selling cards, when you're vending, when you're trading cards, when you have your list of cards on your app. You gotta look at the recent sales and the recent listings because this is a $250 card, almost $300 card, arguably, depending on like where you're getting it from, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the Elsas on eBay and see if any sold, Zach. What the heck? Somebody bought them for $300?
That's not real.
That's outrageous if that's real. Look, it looks like somebody paid $300 for an Enchanted Elsa. That's wild. Not sure how legit that is, but we'll see if that's still there next week. But a PSA 9 recently sold for $830. That's a better price than buying it raw on TCGplayer right there. We have a one with a print line selling for $500 a couple days ago. A $1,100 Canadian dollars, a PSA 9, which is very close to $850. Another PSA 9, $825. So it's looking like you can find PSA 9s right now for cheaper than the raw on TCGplayer. So maybe consider doing that if you want a raw enchanted Elsa. But a PSA 10 Elsa selling for $1,550, and another one selling for $1,435 in that same day. So a lot of the raw Elsas are selling. Look at this, and look at these. People are finding raw Elsas on eBay for a deal around $600 to $700 USD is what it's looking like for raws on eBay still. So maybe you can find them on eBay right there. If you could find some deals, not through TCG Player. Okay, Zach, you know what it is. You know what's going on. It looks like it's actually kind of hard to find a raw Elsa like on eBay. Now, most of them they look like they're just slabbed. Looks like every Elsa on here is slabbed, as far as I can tell, at least now. And all the ones that aren't slabbed, yeah, they're at least going to be listed for around $800+ now. We have one here for $799 plus some extra shipping. After that, they're all like $900, and there's a lot of Japanese Elsas that are also selling for like $600 to $700. My goons. So if you're cracking Japanese Lorcana packs, you can pull a Japanese Elsa and still, net a little hefty plus right there. It's looking like all the raw enchanted Elsas on eBay are going to be listed for more than $900 now. eBay finally caught up with the TCG player sales, so all the deals on eBay are gone. Man, we are late to the party. But Enchanted Elsa, what are the chases in Lorcana? Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's gonna hit high prices of 1,800 again for PSA 10s? Are you guys collecting some raws instead for the Enchanted Elsa? Are you focused on eBay, TCG player? As of right now, yeah, I'm gonna have to like look value mine at least like almost 1,000, dude. They're not. You can't find raws. A PSA 9 is looking like your best bet if you want an Enchanted Elsa to use and to play with, because you could probably find it cheaper than the raw online. But yeah, Zach, I think that's going to be it for the Market Watch this week. Unless you anything you want to say before we call it a day.
You know what, guys? Goons alike, I got some current news that just dropped. We have a new Enchanted reveal. Let's check it out. All right, let's check.
No, no, no. I just want to be surprised. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Bam. There we go. Wow. Bolt's Enchanted. He looks kind of angry. He looks a little sinister, a little devious here. I love to see it though. Really, really cool. We have how many enchantments left? That need to be revealed. Zach, like 3 or 4. I'm hoping personally for Bagheera and Mushu. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I would prefer Bagheera. The Mushu, I think, would be criminal if we didn't get Mushu Enchanted. However, I personally didn't have like a list or a prediction thing. I know some friends of ours did something like that, which I might consider doing it to the next set. But the artworks have been impeccable. I'm very much a fan of a lot of these cards. I've never seen this movie. So you already know what that means. I'm gonna watch this movie, and yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
Wow.
Disney fraud, not a Disney fan.
No, I encourage you to watch it. It's really wholesome. Yeah, I like it a lot. And I like the characters
Oh
that they
yeah.
chose that they chose to put in the card game. But yeah, I agree with you. The enchanters in this set are amazing. It's looking like it's going to be one of the more favorable sets for enchanted rares. That I think a lot of people are going to be are going to be excited to pull from. I think it's up there with like Shimmering Skies. Yeah, wonderful art. Super excited for this set to drop. Can't wait. It's about what, 2 more weeks? 2 more weeks, and we have Arcasia's Island in our hands. So until
Two
then,
weeks, man. It's there. I'm happy.
yeah. Until then, my fellow Illumineers, remember to stay tuned to Lurkana Goons, and we'll see you Goons next time.